Gaming World presents the top 20 best games that can give you over 100 hours of gameplay. Games can occasionally be addicting, but that isn't always a bad thing. These 20 games will offer up well over 100 hours of gameplay. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. If you've been looking for a game to sink hundreds of hours into, look no further than The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The three massive areas that the game presents to you are all filled with quests to complete and monsters to slay, but these missions are level gated, meaning it could take you plenty of time to get to a high enough level that you could feasibly see everything this fantasy epic has to offer. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is a game that brought RPGs to the masses, causing millions to lose hundreds of hours of their lives. The land of the Nords were filled with dungeons to work your way through, dragons to fight and shouts to master. Everything was built around exploring the world, which constantly drags your attention away from the main quests and side quests alike. Fallout 4. Fallout 3 was an incredible game, but Fallout 4 took its mechanics and built upon every single one of them in great ways. Not only were combat and exploration improved, crafting and base building added plenty to do. Building up your settlement and exploring the new city of Boston are incredibly fun and satisfying. No doubt about it, Fallout 4 improved the wasteland in every single way. Grand Theft Auto 5. Los Santos and its surrounding deserts are filled to the brim with activities to do, missions to undertake and sights to see. Double all of that when you consider the wealth of content in Grand Theft Auto Online. Planning and carrying out heists is a real-time commitment, and with new ones still coming out, there is always something to do in Grand Theft Auto 5. Bloodborne. Bloodborne's combat is much faster paced than that of the Souls series, but that doesn't make the game any easier. Dodging and tearing into the grotesque, disfigured enemies that stalk you is no easy task, especially later in the game when they respawn seconds after you defeat them. Exploration isn't the only thing that takes time in Bloodborne, the extreme difficulty takes plenty of time to master on its own. Dark Souls. While Dark Souls is a rather linear game, its branching paths and secret areas take time to discover and master. Learning how to best approach each new enemy and boss is a challenge in itself, with some of the colossal bosses taking over an hour to defeat. You can easily sink over 100 hours into this game figuring out equipment sets and how to tackle every obstacle the game throws at you. Minecraft. Minecraft never ends, and that's the beauty of it. There is always something new to build, a new survival mode to start, or a new goal to work towards. There is so much to do in the sprawling sandbox that coming up with new and creative ideas is never too hard. Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is a massive, open-world, first-person RPG that centers around getting as many unique guns as possible. The better the gun in your hand, the quicker your enemies will die. Like all of the RPGs on this list, Borderlands 2 playtime is extended thanks to a multitude of quests to complete and rare items to hunt down. The game's several DLC packs also add a lot of content, extending playtime by at least 20 hours. Dragon Age Origins. The Dragon Age games are comprised of several large areas, each with their own geography, enemies and quests. Not only that, but there are dragons to kill and relationships to develop with each member of your team. There is always something new to do, with each task more varied than the last. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. While it's easy enough to plough through Oblivion's main story, completing every side quest and guild storyline adds dozens of hours to the game. You can join the Dark Brotherhood to learn how to become a terrifying assassin, or work your way through the ranks to become the champion of the arena. You can also just wander around aimlessly, taking down enemies and exploring dungeons and caverns. Diablo 2. It takes a bit of time to save the world from the devious forces of hell. Diablo has always been a series about plowing through enemies in order to get the best loot. Once you have enough powerful gear, you can dive deeper into the pits of hell, taking on tougher demons and collecting stronger weapons and armor. This addicting gameplay loop can seemingly go on forever, giving players plenty to do. World of Warcraft. Blizzard's titanic MMO offered players over a dozen races, plenty of expansions and countless quests to embark on. Working with other players to conquer Azeroth and reach the level cap took time and dedication, and doing it all over again with a new character class and race changed the way the game played, further extending playtime. Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate created a subgenre of RPGs when it was first released. It became an instant classic thanks to its beautifully realised world for players to explore and vast amount of branching quest lines. Stopping after completing the story would be a crime, because there's so much more to see in this fantastic game. Pokemon. No Pokemon story playthrough will take longer than 40 hours, but what extends the gameplay is finding and capturing the plethora of monsters. With over 700 to collect now, tracking down and capturing every single one takes a bit of time. Not only that, but beating the Elite Four in each game opens new areas to explore and new Pokemon to wrangle. Civilization 4. A typical Civilization campaign won't take long, but the beauty of the franchise is that it's infinitely replayable. Each new playthrough can be completely different depending on what approach you take. This, coupled with working through various difficulty settings, can take hundreds of hours. Final Fantasy X2. While a lot of areas were similar to those seen in the original, Final Fantasy X2 introduced the outfit swapping mechanic to spice up combat. So not only was there a sizable story to tackle with plenty of secrets to find and bosses to defeat, but a new combat system to master. Disgaea 5: Alliance of Vengeance. It does have a straightforward narrative to tackle, but the gameplay isn't restricted to that. The plethora of side missions offer up tons of unique combat scenarios that not only let you hone your skills, but forge new relationships with the various characters. Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls is the game that started from Software's love affair with brutally difficult RPGs. Death has a real consequence, forcing you to retrace your steps as a phantom, find your corpse and reclaim your soul. On top of that, the brutal difficulty and many open areas to explore easily expand playtime. Even pro players will have a tough time getting out of Demon's Souls' grotesque world quickly. Fallout 3. When Bethesda brought Fallout back in 2008, they invigorated the franchise. There are hundreds of locations, characters, quests and enemies to discover and overcome. The addition of VATS opened up combat in a plethora of ways, making each encounter unique and ensuring that battle never got boring, even after 100 hours. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X is a massive game. Not only is there an expansive story to tackle, it lives up to the Final Fantasy name by giving players dozens of side quests, secret areas and secret bosses to discover. It took upwards of 40 hours to just make it through the story, but double that number if you want to see everything.
Like this video? Why not give us a like and subscribe? We try and upload amazing videos almost every single day. Thank you for watching this video and we'll see you on the next one.